What's up guys, Single Player Nacho here with the very first trailer analysis of Resident Evil 3's remake. It's a teaser at best, and there are some hints here and there for new mechanics which this game undoubtedly needs in order to stand out from Resident Evil 2's remake, which was released this year. We start off with a clock that winds forward, slowly showing the events of Resident Evil 2 from beginning to end, and then boom, Twilight Zone. The clock winds backwards and the trailer starts because Resident Evil 3 takes place 24 hours before and during Resident Evil 2. Next, we get our very first glimpse at the Nemesis in action, and we may even get a glimpse at how fast the Nemesis is. Now, of course, this might just be a cutscene and not relative to the actual Nemesis speed in actual gameplay, but if it is, we're looking at the same speeds as Mr. X. Again, this might be part of a cutscene, but a possible new mechanic is the option of pushing over closets to barricade doors. Mr. X was a big guy, but to add to danger and fear to the Nemesis, barricades would be an interesting addition. The yellow tape found in Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 returns as a visual guide for beginners. The Nemesis crashes through the ceiling like the absolute unit that it is, expecting to be able to burst through walls and ceilings similar to Jack Baker in RE7. Now for this next part, listen very closely. The classic Nemesis quote, "Stars." Now I'm not entirely sure if this soundbite is the classic Nemesis sound effect, or if it's been mixed differently. Check it out again and decide for yourself. Either way, I'm looking forward to hearing the new take on the Nemesis saying stars. Now this is a very strange cutaway that happens here, and it's all about perspective. There's an exit sign and in place of a door, a brick wall. The following shot shows Jill breaking, I'm using air quotes, breaking through something and lands on a brick wall. It's just a very strange looking angle and led me to believe that this was a hallucination of some sort, but it's probably just the edit. And here we have our protagonist Jill Valentine's new look, which according to the developer message was more action inspired. Here's what they said.
ゲームデザインの方をやはりその RE2 と比較してもアクション寄りに作られていますので、それに合わせた、リメイクというのを行っています。彼女の衣装に関しても同様に、改めてデザインの方を起こしている、設定になっています。
Mikhail Victor, a veteran of the defunct USSR and now commander of the Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service, is shown with heavy wounds like in the original. He's shown in a cable car, but what I found interesting was these two characters discussing stuff in the background. Could the cable car be sort of an HQ that Jill can retreat to? Similar to how they implemented Marvin's station in Resident Evil 2? Of course, this is just speculation, but I'd imagine that there is at least one mission hub in the game.
Don't look at me like that, alright? I'm not infected.
This is Murphy Seeger, who is obviously infected and is a horrible liar. Here's Brad Vickers, who was actually an Easter egg in RE2's remake as a promotional poster at the police department. Anyway, I found this quote to be pretty hilarious.
But right now it's got a hard-on for the only 2 stars left in town.
The Nemesis with the hard-on is probably scarier than the Nemesis with a new nose job. But yes, the Nemesis has a hard-on for 2 people in particular. Brad Vickers, a STARS pilot, and Jill Valentine, also aligned with STARS. What I also found interesting was the amount of NPCs running around in the background, which can also briefly be seen in actual gameplay. What if they act as a new mechanic similar to Dead Rising, but not as annoying? It's probably a far cry, but it would be cool to be able to rescue people in some way. Now we get a glimpse of Carlos Oliveira, who serves as the secondary protagonist, and we'll be playing as him for a side quest or 2. With him, however, is Tyrell Patrick, who are both members of Umbrella's countermeasure service. Later in the trailer, we hear Carlos questioning Umbrella.
What's wrong with Umbrella?
And the contrast between these two here may be that Carlos sees the wrongdoings of Umbrella, while Tyrell sticks to the plan and follows Umbrella. Either way, check out this sweet-ass assault rifle that Carlos is holding. This type of weaponry goes in line with the same quote from the developer message.
ゲームデザインの方をやはりその RE2 と比較してもアクション寄りに作られていますので、
Resident Evil 3 is more action-oriented than Resident Evil 2. Does this concern any of you guys? Comment below. I mean, I can see how this would be like Resident Evil 7's Not a Hero DLC with Chris having more action sequences compared to the main storyline of Resident Evil 7. Then we catch a glimpse of Jill having a hallucination, which leads me to wonder if there will be like psychological horror influence to balance between the action in place of traditional horror. This wouldn't mesh well, in my opinion. And finally, we get an extremely vague look at the Nemesis up close. Check out those muscles.
Foundation for Umbrella Corp.
And we did get a very brief glimpse of gameplay, which honestly gave me more hope for the game, seeing the vibrant colors that differ from Resident Evil 2. Zombie models are basically the same, and we do see even more civilian NPCs running around for dear life. Are you guys excited for Resident Evil 3? What mechanics do you want to see? Comment down below your suggestions, and don't forget to subscribe for more Resident Evil. Thank you guys for all the support, and as always, stay single.